I am here to announce that I didn't watch the Super Bowl halftime show. That's it. Not that I didn't like it, I just didn't actually watch it. I have no opinion on it, and I'm sick of people who have opinions on the Super Bowl halftime show. Why is that a thing? Every year, it's like there's a group of very desperate and weird people who have in their draft folders on social media some kind of post about how they don't get or like the Super Bowl halftime show. I assure you, no one cares. Please stop posting about it. It doesn't matter. You can leave the room. I don't like the Super Bowl. How do you like that? I think we should get rid of the Super Bowl. I think we should go back to the basics. I don't think it should be 4 quarters. I think it should be 1 quarter. It's too much football. Well, welcome to the JoePontillo Show. First episode of 2025. I've been in the middle of moving to, believe it or not, kind of a new studio thing. I guess you could call it a studio. And it's so very painful and I guess exciting at the same time. So much has happened. I have a very dark confession. I not only watched the Joker movie, the sequel, Folie à Deux, or whatever it is. By the way, when you name something Folie à Deux, you're just basically saying this movie's not going to be good. I think Folie à Deux is like French for this is something that shouldn't exist. Something like that. But I have to tell you, I actually didn't hate the movie. I didn't love the first movie. I thought the last 30 to 40 minutes of the first movie were amazing, and the rest of the movie was Whereas this movie had some good parts. You know what it is? If you take out Lady Gaga and most of the singing, no, all of the singing, it was a fine movie. And again, I think if you put Lady Gaga in a movie, you're basically saying, you can skip this one. No offense to, I think she has some good songs. I think she's from the same town as me. Speaking of towns, I'm on Long Island again, right where I started. Everything is coming full circle. I don't know if that's a sign, good or bad, but we'll see. So I will not be doing any further episodes unless they're on location in New York City. And essentially I traded insane traffic and congestion noises for nonstop airplanes. That is one of the perks of being located in western or southwestern Nassau County, is that if you're outside trying to do something, or anywhere trying to do something, get ready to hear nothing but airplanes. In fact, years ago, the airplane epidemic so intense in my hometown that one night I guess it was very cloudy, and when there's clouds in the sky, planes go under the clouds sooner, therefore they get lower than they should be for a little bit, and so they were flying very close over my town. And didn't bother. I mean, I was a kid, but some locals took to the phones, called the police. Because the police, that's what they want. Robbery? No. Oh, murder? No. Oh, plane flying very low. We're going to send everybody. But this became a whole big thing. It actually ended up in the local paper, the Herald. And there was a picture of all these, Long Island housewives. Maybe one guy got in there too. And they're all standing on their street, tragically pointing at the sky, being like, yeah, that's where the planes were. The planes, they were so low. So yeah, apologies to the nerds and the haters who hated Joker 2. I mean, they're probably pretty justified too, let's be real. But enjoy. You know what it is? Sometimes people have a way of hyping up how bad things are to the point where I feel like you have all these crazy expectations of like, this movie is garbage. Everyone's told me it's garbage. Trusted sources told me it's garbage. The show on CNN, I think it was reliable sources, not trusted sources. So yeah, we gotta watch it because it's bad. And then you go and you watch it and you're just like, oh, that wasn't that bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. You know, I feel like The Joker 2 was one of those movies that just shouldn't have been made. This happens a lot. Marvel's been doing this a lot since, their big event there, Avengers Endgame. Like half the movies they've made since then, they weren't even bad. They just shouldn't have been made. It's just not every movie needs to be made. Like, someone needs to be there to just go, no one wants this. Please stop. One movie that did need to be made, I actually saw it, Nosferatu. Folks, have you seen the Nosferatu? Of course, fans of the original 1920s silent movie version will be horrified to learn how large his genitals are and how incredibly thick and Bulgarian his mustache is. I wouldn't have given him a mustache. That's the one thing. I feel like out of all the literary horror characters, Dracula, Nosferatu, any kind of vampire, no mustache. That's just, they've got enough going on. I feel like the mustache would get in the way of all the blood sucking, because then you're like biting somebody's neck and they're like, aha, your mustache is tickling me. And also you're biting my neck, please stop. So now you've got two things that are really annoying. It's bad enough you're biting my neck and sucking the blood out of me. Now you're stabbing and or tickling me with your mustache. Pick one, buddy. So yeah, Nosferatu was really good. Enjoyable. Johnny Depp's daughter is in it. She has a weird hairline. William Dafoe is in it. And the guy, Nicholas Hoult, is in it, who played Beast. And he was also in another vampire-esque movie a previous year called Renfield. Renfield? Yeah, where that movie was unexpectedly great. You should check that out. I don't think enough people saw it. What are you going to do, though? Anyway, that's my movies. Don't see Joker. Joker 2 was what it was. Nosferatu was good. There's other movies that were like in the past. I remember years ago people saying how bad X-Men Origins Wolverine was. And it was described to me in such a way that I was like, oh my god, that sounds like the worst movie of all time. And then I watched it and I was like, it's not that bad. It's not good. But it's not that bad. People just need to calm down, I guess. But I suppose it's very fulfilling to hate something. And if you really want to hate something, go watch all the Sony Spider-Man movies that they finally mercifully took out to the woods and, left them. That's it. That's just what they did. It's kind of like in the old days where all the old movies, the footage got lost or damaged. I think Sony should just do that with all their side Spider-Man movies. Although Morbius should probably be, have its own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Not Jared Leto, because he's a creep, but Morbius. If he just becomes full-blown Morbius, like if he becomes Morbius in real life, I think he'll have more fans. That's what I think. Anyway, so we're into 2025 now, people. I don't know what to tell you. Very fitting that Joe Biden's last few days in office, California just went on fire. God bless Joe Biden, though. He's no longer the president. He, after 900 years in public service, he finally gets to retire, except he doesn't because a tweet or a post or an article I saw the other day, Joe Biden signs with CAA. That's right, Joe Biden gonna do some acting. So next time you're at a commercial for Cheetos or Domino's or whatever, Macy's, you might see Joe Biden. So sorry, he won't be helping you with whatever weird political fantasy you've got going on. He'll probably do some voiceovers. I think they're still working on the next Grand Theft Auto. I expect Joe Biden to be doing a voice in that. Maybe like an old mob boss of some kind. Like, hey, Jack, here's the sitch. You understand? Can I get paid now? God bless him. But now Trump is president again, and I guess Elon Musk is the side president. I don't know what's going on. Very interesting to watch Elon Musk's rise to not fame. He's just like, okay, so we have all these, rich billionaire psychopaths in this country, and he's a lunatic. He's got like 1 million kids. Some of them are named after like algebra problems or codes. I don't know what's going on there. And it was weeks ago now, but there was a whole thing where he, did that arm gesture, which I don't really think he was sig heiling or whatever. I just think he's much like Mark Zuckerberg. I'm sure we all remember the Mark Zuckerberg congressional hearings where he was just not blinking and like, hold on, water. And, except with Elon Musk, it seems like he never knows what to do with his arms. Because if you watch the full speech that he did, he was doing a lot of like, I don't know what this is. It was all different ways. Is he, airlifting nothing? And then he got up there and he did the thing, which was like 3 to 12 news cycles ago. So I feel like everybody forgot about it already. But everybody had to repeat the same stupid thing about it 900 times. And so Elon became sort of popular because he went on Joe Rogan and smoked weed. That's all it takes these days. You just go on the right podcast and all of a sudden you're beloved by millions of people. I think that's partially why Trump won. Trump went on like Rogan. He went on Andrew Schultz's podcast, Theo Von. What else? Did he go on Barstool? He should have. I don't know. He went on a whole bunch of things. And people like the podcast. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. That's why I keep doing this, because maybe accidentally I did a good podcast myself in England. That's right. I've always been international. I have fans all around the world. Very insane. I have one fan from Toronto, and very funny. It's very funny when you know people for a long time on social media. So she was I guess pretty liberal back in 2017, 2018. And I remember I actually posted a tweet that had the word shithole in it, and she had messaged me, and she was like, oh, you sure you want to use the word shithole? A little too close to something Trump would say. And flash forward 8 years later, and she is the most right-wing person I ever. Hates Trudeau, pro-conservative, pro-Trump, pro-all. She's not even American. Well, not yet. We're coming for you, Canada. Get over here. I don't know if I would even want Canada as another state. I think we can take part of it. Because, Canada is this weird country, not weird, sorry Canadians, where it's like, there's all these like major cities, just north of the North America border, United States border. Sorry, yeah, we're North America. They're like really North America. And then after that, I think it's just kind of the Yukon and the North Pole. So if we were gonna annex Canada, I would just take the bottom part of it and just kind of give the rest to the North Pole or whatever. Work out a deal. It's fine. So there was this whole thing where Trudeau, who I guess is leaving now because I don't know, he needs to go back to being absorbed by a giant eyebrow. Nobody likes him anymore. And I'm not sure if they ever liked him, but somehow these people get in office for way too long. And, they were going to put tariffs on Canada. I don't know anything about tariffs. And I'm pretty sure the people saying that they will be bad also don't know anything about tariffs. I do remember reading the word tariff in a social studies textbook, 20-something years ago. That's it. That's all I got for you. But instead of tariffs, Canada is instead going to be enforcing their border in an effort to stop the flow of fentanyl. Literally the last thing I would guess was coming from Canada was fentanyl. Although, it does explain why Canadians are always saying sorry. Sorry about the drugs, eh? So getting back to Elon Musk, who is now the second most powerful person in the world. Good for him. He worked hard. Started with PayPal and then, worked his way up to, blowing up the moon. That's probably next. Well, they're defunding all this stuff. And people are mad. And I feel like a lot of what they're actually defunding is good. It's a lot of nonsense. No one's going to jail. Lots of people are being fired. And lots of weird things and programs are just, that's it, no more money. I don't know, all the worst people seem mad about it. So it's probably a good thing. I do understand that questionable people are behind it. and I do get that. But yeah, so Elon Musk, got popular doing podcasts because, that's the market now. It's podcast listeners, Twitch streamers, RFK fanatics, crypto bros. That is the four groups you need to win over in order to get anything done or to acquire any power in this country. That's just the reality. Don't get mad at me. So... So here we are. I know, maybe some of these other, billionaire psychopaths should also just do Joe Rogan. Get Bill Gates on Joe Rogan so he could be like, well, I just want to vaccinate, all these poor people and then block out the sun. And also, I'm high. That's it. I do DMT all the time. I invented DMT. I was like, I'm going to invent Microsoft Word, and then is this Bill Gates' voice? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Jeff Bezos, get him on some podcasts too. Let's really get to know these people now. And I just want to say, my podcast is wide open. Get over here, all you rich guys. Plenty of room. Or gals, anybody. I have no qualms about anything. But, what Elon Musk is doing, though, is he's sort of taking the place of Trump right now in terms of living rent-free in the minds of wackos. So, I remember when I started doing comedy, and even for years after that, new comics would get on stage and talk about sex, their genitals, stupid crap. And then when Trump won the first time in 2016, I feel like every new comedian I would hear, whether it was at a new talent show or an open mic, would just be talking about Trump without any jokes whatsoever. Just rambling incoherently about Trump, devoid of humor. And it just got weird. Now, was it last week? It was last week. I did a show. There were a couple of, brand newish comics on the show. And one of them, half their set was about Elon Musk. Yes, I am new to comedy. I'm going to focus my act entirely on this one billionaire. And that should propel me to the top of the comedy industry. start a podcast like everybody else. Comedies do. I remember the first time Trump won, there were a couple people saying things like, oh, he's going to be good for comedy, though, right? And then I saw what comedians were posting on, Facebook and Twitter, and I just went, no, I don't think he will be. Comedy's about to get a whole lot worse. I feel like this time around, though, less people's, more people, a lot of people are better emotionally equipped to deal with the situation, which I know is such a ridiculous sentence. But there are still some people who are very sad and upset and have to tell you about it every single day. My family is in shambles. Most of them are pretty happy or indifferent, but some of them not so much. And it's just like, what are you going to do? Just live your life. We need a national conversation about just chilling the hell out. That's really what I want. But there's a whole crazy gaggle of people now in the government, and it's kind of fun. It's very different from the last time when I feel like there was just a bunch of awful, normal, boring Republican stooges. And now there's all these, kind of wacky people, like RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., guy that famously apparently killed a cub, not a member of the Chicago Cubs, a child bear, and left it in Central Park, whatever. And what's really weird, he's married to Cheryl Hines, who, of course, plays Larry David's wife on the show. This is just so ridiculous now. It's bad enough that Trump's president. Now a guy who's married to somebody who is on Curb Your Enthusiasm is in control of all the health care in America. And Joe Biden, where's my pardon, buddy? Forgot to mention that. The fun groups of people that were pardoned. By the way, I'm pardoning my son, but just for this 10-year period. Other than that, he was great. And did he pardon Fauci? Oh, God. Great stuff. If you're just giving out pardons, might as well pardon the whole country. That's my belief, because everybody's capable of doing a crime. Preemptive pardons. Everybody should just get pre-pardoned so that they can commit one small-time crime. Nothing crazy. Just like when you drive around New York City, which you can't do anymore because it's illegal to drive through New York City. And, But, RFK got in, what do you call it? He's the new head of the HHS, which is health and more health services. Whatever it is. And, a lot of what he says is insane, but some of it is honestly kind of truthful. And, of course, there's probably, like with anything, there's probably valid reasons for him to be opposed, but because the Democrats and whatever don't seem to know how to properly oppose anything anymore, they just focus on dumb stuff well, if he's going to take aluminum out of the food, I guess I'll just have to eat my own. Should aluminum be in the food? I don't think so. He's going to take fluoride out of the water? Better stock up on it. They put fluoride in toothpaste, which, you brush your teeth and you spit it out. Nobody eats toothpaste except kids, and a lot of dumb kids these days. So I don't know. Anyway, that's enough of that. But we saved TikTok. I think that was the most important thing that happened with this election. This whole stupid thing of, they were banning TikTok, not because, it's rotting people's brains, but because there were people on there who were saying things the government didn't like. And because TikTok is not an American company, because, if you're going to say things we don't like, at least do it on American websites. That's why Facebook's still there, which is, the lie central. and Twitter and everything else, and Instagram, which, like, why are we even still on Instagram at this point? Seriously, can someone explain to me what is the freaking point of Instagram at this point? Right now, I'm at this point on Instagram, I keep getting more followers, and yet somehow getting less likes on everything I post. And then I post something on TikTok, which I have less followers on. Every video, even the ones that don't do great, at least hundreds of likes. I had the one video that went viral. I had another stupid video that blew up. It wasn't even that funny. And that's fine. But I've learned to play the algorithm now. Because I learned what the algorithm wants is fast and maybe something that people can react to. Like, yes, this isn't that funny, but I have a response to it. That's all people want. We're done. We're done, like, actually writing things. It's just whatever comes to mind. Go outside, shoot it 18 times till you drive yourself insane, and then put it on TikTok, and boom. It's just, but fine, we did it. And then TikTok got shut down, and it was very troubling for like 7 minutes, and then it came right back. And the best part was one of the main issues that people have with TikTok is like, oh, it's the Chinese, they're taking your data. They can have my data. God knows how many weirdos and psychopaths in America already have all my data. Let some people in China have it. They earned it, all right? TikTok's a good app. And I know some comedians hate TikTok, and I think they hate it. Because they have nothing to add to it, because they don't know how it works. I hated it until like the last year, and now I'm like, we need more TikToks. Get me a second TikTok. Give me an American TikTok one. Like, oh, this app that actually shows your content to people who don't follow you. I hate it. Like, why, But a lot of comedians, don't offer anything outside of, like, crowd work. Crowd work. Oh, my God. We defunded USAID, and now less crowd work clips because they were funding crowd work clips because that's what they wanted. And then the best part of the whole TikTok thing was that immediately once TikTok was shutting down, everybody was switching to this other website that was also Chinese called Red Note. It was actually more Chinese. Like, when I'm on TikTok, I'm not like, yeah, I feel like I'm on social media in China. I don't. It just feels like a regular website. Whereas Red Note, like, the app on my phone actually was in Chinese. I'm like, this is a more foreign app. What did you people do? So whatever. But TikTok's back for now. I think they got like a 90-day stay of execution. And it's going to be very important to find out who in America will buy TikTok and make it good enough to not shut down again. Man, it's just great. I'm going to send out some sympathies to some people, everybody affected by the California fires, whatever they are. It's bad when they're naming the fires. Like, that's Darren. That, like, we're naming fires like they're hurricanes now. That feels like we've reached a point where maybe we need to figure some things out. I haven't heard anything about it recently, so I hope everything's under control. I know at least one person, their house burned down. This female comedian on Twitter, I don't know her in person, Jen Bagakis, her family's house burned down. Very sad. And then, what else? And then I know another guy in LA, he evacuated because they thought the fire was coming there. And then the next day they were like, oh, never mind, it took a right turn. And then they came back. But hopefully things are under control. And man, it's really weird watching. I don't know why no politicians ever seem to have any, like, just a weird roboticness in these situations. Like, I'm not responsible for the fire. I'm against the fire. It's what I'm trying to tell you people. There's just, send me money. Just send me money and you'll get the correct information and maybe we'll put the fires out. Like, that's literally the things these people were saying. Absolutely insane. But I'm really excited to see which terrible company gets to take over all the land that burned down. Let's see. Who's it going to be? BlackRock, Walmart, Amazon, Facebook, maybe Meta will take over that part of California, because that's where things are going right now. So anyway, welcome back. This was a great show. I guess. Please please subscribe, leave a comment. I want to do this more regularly, I guess, but also I want to focus on doing 30-second videos too. So we'll see. Something's got to give. Shout out to Jimmy, whatever his name is, out there in England. I did his show. Got me a whole bunch of subscribers. I was a little worried to do a show, but he's actually a great interviewer. Watch his show. And some of the questions that came up were a little weird, but that's okay. That's fun. I like answering weird questions. Definitely do that show again. Check out his show. Well, at least the episode I was on. I felt like I said a lot of good things. I just got fired from a trivia gig, which, so I do some trivia here and there on the side, because, comedy doesn't always pay the bills, and, such a weird thing, because I don't really enjoy doing trivia. I don't really enjoy doing anything where I don't feel like I'm being myself. I feel like one thing I've learned in the last few years is that I mostly thrive as myself. Like, I'm myself on stage, I'm myself on the radio, I'm myself on this show. Even Pontillo and Associates is like sort of me, but maybe less so recently. When you host trivia, it's very soulless. You start yelling out bingo numbers, and there's I throw in fun stuff with the questions, but what are you going to say for bingo? Like B7, am I right? You got nothing. There's nothing you can do. So, but apparently I didn't bring the right energy to trivia night. And it's like, what do you want? I don't like the way this guy asks questions. He's asking them too slow. He's not, yelling the bingo numbers in a way I like. I really, what could your complaint be? I'm just sitting there asking questions in as fun a manner as I can. I've done a lot of random trivia nights. I was endlessly hosting a trivia night in a TGI Fridays in Wayne, New Jersey, and nobody ever came. But the staff would play. So I would just sit there and I would ask questions to nobody, and then people on the staff would just yell out the answers, and I'd be like, very good, here's a ticket. As sad as the worst comedy show could be. That takes the cake. And speaking of sad comedy shows, oh boy, we got some good ones coming up. Let's see. We're in February now. We got Thursday, February 20th. Matt Vita is having a birthday comedy show / event thing at Young Ethel's in Brooklyn at 9 o'clock. Matt Vita, friend of the show, nice guy. We're friends. And then Saturday, February 22nd, I'm doing comedy from scratch in Larchmont, New York. It's in Westchester. I've done it one other time. It's a great show run by the Enigma, known as Ben Asher. And then what's happening the following week, I got a whole bunch of things going. I got New Jersey. I'm back at 21A on Broadway Thursday, February 27th. And then we got Michael's Friday, February 28th. And then Saturday, March 1st, Woolen Mill Comedy Club in Vermont. And then I think that Sunday I'm doing the Still on the Mountain, also in Vermont. And then there's a whole bunch of things coming up in March too, but we'll get to that on the next episode. So keep tuning in. And thanks for being here, and follow me on all the social media apps, especially TikTok and especially YouTube. And we'll see you out there.